I'm Joe from Mindshiftgear.
Hi, I'm Moose.
Mindshift has collaborated with Moose, renowned wildlife photographer and Nikon ambassador, to work on the second generation of the Moose packs.
Vastly improving the original design, making it easier and better for you to get out in the field safely with your gear and enjoy your passion, photography. We got the 7, the 3, and the 1. Now people ask, why are they odd numbers? Because I'm odd. And our needs as photographers is a little bit different and odd. That's why I collaborated with these guys, and Joe really knocked the design out of the park, making a better bag for you and your gear. This bag here has 60,000 air miles on it already with all this gear. And part of that is making it so it's kind of, undistinguishable from other photo bags. It doesn't look like a photo pack. It doesn't look like a photo bag. And it also serves an actual technical purpose. Now, we have what we call the moose ears, these flaps, right? And inside of that is our very precious gear. Now, a lot of photographers keep these at the very bottom like this, and they open them up. That means if you forget to zip them up and gravity takes over, on the ground, bad. So I have on my bags, you can see little tchotchkes on the one bag zipper that's always the top, the other pole, and these poles are absolutely amazing. They're always up here. It means the bag's closed, gear is secure. Just one of the many features that we put into the MP1, 3, and 7 version 2.
Now the poles that you were just mentioning, they're robust, so you could access them with gloves on, with cold hands.
Yeah, when I first got this, the very first one, I was really brutal to the bag. I mean, I'm pulling, I'm yanking, I'm doing all the things you should never do to a bag, but in order to make sure the quality's there to protect our babies, I'm brutal. And these tabs, pulls, they're rubber, so it allows you to go through the zipper around the corner really quick. At the same time, even with my thickest, fattest, most awkward gloves and mittens, I can yank on that thing. I mean, you see the whole table move as I yank on them. It's really cool.
Now, what's unique about these bags are your 3-pocket design on each of the bags.
3-pocket design. We came up with that originally because we want to be able to access gear quickly. But more importantly, when you get something out, okay, for example, I get my one, this is what we call the long lens compartment. We start getting stuff out, it will open and close itself by itself. And that ability to flap close, what's that mean? It means the stuff that's inside of here is being kept clean and dry and protected. Protected from lots of things. One of the things I do is I worry about myself, my own personal oops moments, right? So if you got gloves on, you get your lens, also you drop it, right? The flap is there, and the flaps are all padded, right? The whole bag is 360 padded. That padding protects your gear. Now, part of the design, which you guys have done such a great job executing in the version 2 is, you put the lens in here. Here's my baby, my 800. You can see there's a space on either side, like where the lens gets narrow. We take advantage of all that space. That's why we have these zippered pockets that are Velcro, and you can customize it to your own need. Because in those zippered pockets, I have, as you're going to see, because I'm going to populate this whole table, more and more stuff. I have the match converter for the 800. I have a 1.4 converter for the 800. Joe's going to be bored because I'm going to sit here and pull stuff out, and he's going to keep watching. I have hats. I have lots of hats. Keep warm.
And we're on the first pocket.
More polarizers, okay? Because it's important to understand that you have these flap pockets, and just like this zipper part here, we're taking advantage of the narrow space around the lens. I'm going to do the same thing with these zipper pockets. So down here, okay, there's not a whole bunch of bulky stuff because I don't want to bulk up that flap. I want to keep this profile. I keep pulling things out of the zipper pocket.
And as you're talking about the zipper pockets, you can see there's a weather flap that goes around the entire perimeter of the zippers. That's also going to help keep out the elements.
It's really important. This bag's already been christened by a great egret, had its whitewash on here. None of it got in. It was smelly, but none of it got in. Now, as I pull things out, they're packed in very specific ways. For example, the lenses, some of them don't have their shades attached. That's because I'm going to distort the shape of this bag. Now, this bag will fit in the overhead of any plane, except for the second story of the 747s. And if you're riding there, it's a mute discussion, right? But let's say a CRJ, a little regional jets we all fly in. This bag will instantly go in the overhead, slides right in, slides right out. And that is very important part of the design. As I keep pulling stuff out, because you can see there is a ton of stuff in this bag. It just doesn't stop. I mean,
You have a lot of gear, a lot of weight, and there's you've probably seen a handle on the top and the side, but there's also one hidden on the bottom. So if you need to grab the whole bag and get it up in the overhead, you can do that pretty easily.
One thing that's hidden up here is not only the spot for your name tag, but there's another pocket that's on this and the MP3, not on the 7. And that just holds more and more
You've almost filled up the table here, Miss.
and more. We're not done yet.
And this is just 2 pockets.
And more. Now you might be seeing me pulling out these little claws. Like right now I keep my camera bodies in this very bottom pocket. You'll see these claws. That's not for padding. That's because the grease and stuff that gets on here, it's all gets cleans off before I put the camera bodies back in here, because the buffalo nap in here that's keeping everything, it collects dirt and grease like anything else. So I don't want it in there because it's just going to migrate on my gear and just keep on the process.
And as you're pulling all these out, you can see that the dividers that come with each one of these bags can help you configure the bag to exactly what your needs are as your individual kind of photographer.
Right, because it's not for just this set of gear. You can use any kind of gear. For example, let's say you have a 600 or a 500 millimeter lens. You can have your body connected right to that lens, and you can put that whole lens into the long lens compartment using the tripod mount as your handle. Just goes in and out, quick and easy. So if you're in the field, you can pull it out, put on your tripod, and you're shooting. And that speed can mean you get the picture or not get the picture. At the same time, you take your hand off the flap, your gear is protected. So the bag comes with this really, the Mindshift Think Tank rain cover. We've all seen them, right? They're really a lifesaver. This bag comes with the same one. So in this case, if I've got this on the back of an MTV, I'm dating myself, an ATV, okay, and we're taking off somewhere, I'm gonna take that rain cover and put it on here because it'll keep the dust out of the bag.
It's a fully seam sealed rain cover. It comes with each bag.
And it does a great job. Then carefully take that off, dust it away from the bag, get your gear, away you go.
Now let's talk about the harness system. How are you going to carry this pack?
We're saving the best for last, to be honest with you. One of the best things about that is the fact that it is a photo pack. I'm going to take my baby out. Now, what I absolutely love about the version 2 are these shoulder straps. Fully padded, okay, attached to hold all this weight comfortably. But you might say, hey, there's only one on there. That's because the other one is hidden underneath the flap. Now, not only is it hidden underneath the flap, so these straps aren't in your way when you're trying to slip this in the overhead. So you're not going to undo that strap from like a latch or something. Not only that, it's not adding anything to the profile. That's the ingenious part. You know, we've got lumbar, right? He knows the stuff. That pad right there, okay, so it was really easy on your lower back, and the padding here isn't adding to the profile, so it still fits in the overhead of a small regional jet, even with your big lens. That is ingenious.
And these dual density shoulder pads with the air mesh, they're fully attached too, so you can tuck them away quickly. You don't need to attach the bottom to anything.
No clips. Nothing.
And then,
yeah.
And then there's also a removable waist belt. So depending on your preferences as a photographer or how you want to carry your gear, you can add that or fold it up. Folds pretty flat and can fit in one of the pockets.
And if you need a full suspension backpack, you have it here. If you do it like myself, just have one strap over the shoulder so the flight attendant doesn't see you struggling with the weight, and then you just get in the overhead real quickly. You're in incognito. And with the big gear, that's a really important part of the design, is that being in incognito.
Moose, how did you originally come up with this great design concept for the bag? The 3 pockets, the weather flap. This is really ingenious.
Well, the original design came from my own personal needs, working with wildlife in locations and places that you just can't easily access. And in that, I'm working in snow and rain and dust, in all those environments which are just not really conducive to camera gear.
Right.
And especially when the days of digital. So I had to be able to get stuff quickly, because speed is everything. Had to have things protected. There are certain times where I don't even have the luxury of time to zip it up, because I have to go if things are happening. So being able to compartmentalize all my gear and get quick access and protect it is what designed it. And then, of course, putting it in the overhead. I mean, that was the main criteria. The shape and had to fit in those small regional jets with my big gear.
And not only are you protecting this from the elements with the automatic closures, but also when you're in an environment with other people and you don't want other eyes looking in and seeing your gear.
That's the best part. You could leave this in a vehicle like this and no one knows it's a photo bag or a photo pack. It just looks like a piece of anything other than holding 42 pounds of very, very precious and expensive gear.
Well, Moose, thanks for walking us through the bag. Again, there are 3 sizes, the MP1, 3, and the 7 to fit your needs. And from Mindshift Gear, with our special guest, Muspieterson, thanks for watching.